Hello and welcome to Improve Your Voice. Today we're going to look at one for the singers and how you can increase your vocal range. Now, I'm not going to use any piano or guitar today for this one, but I want to give you some food for thought on how you can do it, because a lot of the times when people think about increasing their vocal range, they consider how they can sing higher. Quite often people don't consider how they can sing lower, but what I'm going to tell you is this. If you can sing lower, you'll be able to sing higher. That's how it works. So rather than focusing on high notes and creating this big sound up there, we're going to start going back to the low notes and expanding that, so then we will have the range up in the top end as well. And here's how we're going to do it. Firstly, I keep singing this all the way across YouTube. Everyone gets straight into the singing and they don't do enough work on the body, which is the instrument. You need to create space. You need to think of the idea of space inside your head, inside your body. So you need to be this chasm, because your body is this instrument that takes in more air, that has space for sound and air to resonate within. Once you can create a bigger space, you have more dynamic range. You have more space for air to travel, and you can hit high notes and you can hit lower notes. So how do we do this? Well, we adopt a good breathing system. But what I'd like to do as an exercise for us to get started with this is to take, if you have one of these, a bone prop, you can put it in your mouth. If not, just use your finger like this, put it in your mouth, and we're not gonna take our mouth open any further than this. Okay, you'd have to keep your finger there, but just remember, your mouth is going to be quite closed at the front at all times. So what happens there is we need to create the sound somewhere else, and we start creating space in the back of our mouths. And if we start to yawn as we keep our mouth open only at this size, you'll feel a lot of space happening on your soft palate and your throat all the way down. And listen, can you hear how round my voice sounds now? Just from yawning, creating this yawning sound. So try this with me now. Just keep your mouth open, just a little bit at the front, but create lots of space in the back. Yeah, I can feel a bit of tension in my throat because maybe I should be a bit more relaxed. So by doing this, you're exercising some of the muscles that go all the way down into your belly that you need. Oh, I'm really yawning now. Okay. So this, as a little warm-up, as a little exercise, will help give your body the idea of space, and we want to create space. And we can do that also by maybe stretching up to the side and over, opening up our ribs and our intercostal muscles. We can do that on both sides. Reach up, oh, stretch it out. And of course we can stretch our backs as well, oh, by tucking our chin in, reaching forward, tucking our chin in, reaching forward, and bringing our arms up and back as well. Stretching and just having a good lengthen is a great way of creating space in your muscles and relaxing your body, because also when the body's relaxed, it is able to perform better. So once you've got the idea of space and you're able to create a bit more space in your body, and you have some lengthening and stretching just to relax your body, what we're going to do for the first part of helping us expand our range is to do something that's called the vocal fry, or it's also known as the pulse register. So what happens is your vocal folds vibrate at different levels, and when they're vibrating just very slowly, that becomes the lowest level. That's the lowest sound that we can make. So what we want to do is practice creating that low sound more often and see over time if we can create that lower sound to become bigger, maybe louder, or even lower and slower than it already is. So we're going to do this by counting, and here's how it's going to sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I sound a bit like a frog, but that's great, that's the idea. We want to have this slow, low movement of sound, but it's got to be audible enough. It needs to come out of our mouth, not just sit in the back. We need to create space in our throat like we did when we did the yawning in order to allow it to amplify that sound and bring it out. And this is also how getting the lower register
getting the lower register and creating this space is going to help us at the top end later on. This is going to help widen our dynamic range. Also, in order to do this, if you're someone that's struggling singing high or even getting down low here, using our imagination and visualizing what sounds we want to make are really going to help us to get there. So if often we want to sing higher and we're not getting those notes and we're straining and pushing to get there, stop straining, just relax, and it will come once you practice getting the low notes. But if you can hear the note before you do it, so think of like up, up, ah, ah. Just think of the note and then make the note, and do the same with low. Oh, 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 ah, oh, ah. You can play around with it. I don't know what your range is, but you can do it with the guitar. You can find an app online that's going to help you with understanding what your range is. But trust me, practicing the low notes will help you with the high notes later on. And the biggest part of this is not only having the length in your body and being able to create the low notes and creating space, but it's also being relaxed. So once your body's relaxed, sound can vibrate around your body easier. It might feel that your voice is lower and it will drop. Once that's happened, it's easier to hit the high notes because there's just more space and more flexibility for it to get there without any effort. So, relaxation, key. Get yourself a massage, get on the roller, do some yoga or Pilates or anything that kind of relaxes you. So anything that relaxes you mentally and physically will help. And lastly, just practice daily. Do it every day. I don't care what type of singer you are, where you're doing it, or what you want to become, or how you want to increase your range, or whether you even know what you want or not. If you do it daily, everything's going to happen quicker for you. It doesn't mean really go at it every day and like force yourself. You will need some breaks at some point. But by practicing regularly and consistently, you're going to develop a voice that remembers the work you've done in the past, and it's going to work for you without you thinking about it. And that's where you want to get to. Your voice, when you're thinking about getting a wider range, is more exercises and visualizations to get you to that place. And once you have it, then you forget about it and you can relax and just use the voice for telling stories or singing with. And this will only come by regular, consistent, daily practice. So I hope this has been useful for you. Any questions or comments, just please leave them in the boxes below. I'm Darren McStay. This is Improve Your Voice. And until the next time, look after your voice.